commence the Demolympics and subsequently demolish this entire massive building, let's quickly talk about how you demolish an entire massive building. Because when most people think of building demolition, a lot of times they think of this: a giant wrecking ball. And while wrecking balls can weigh up to 12 tons and they look really cool, they're really most effective against concrete and brick buildings because they crumble. But steel doesn't crumble, it just bends and deforms, so even the largest wrecking ball would be no match for our 25-story steel building. Which means we need a lot more energy. And if you look really closely, you can see the equivalent energy of 20,000 sticks of dynamite right here. It's just hidden in the form of gravitational potential energy, meaning there's a lot of heavy stuff really up high in the air, and if you were somehow able to weaken the building in key spots, especially at the bottom, maybe by using some explosives, then the building would start to fall and crush itself under all that weight. And this is why the fastest and cheapest way to make a building not exist anymore is to let gravity do all the work for you over a couple of really exciting seconds, and then to spend the next couple of months cleaning up all the debris on the ground. But here you can see this whole process in action where the explosive charges destroy the base of the cooling tower, and then gravity takes care of the rest. It turns out you actually don't need that many explosives if you've already got a bunch of potential energy to work with. This is another great example where a radio tower comes crashing straight down like a dart. But sometimes instead of falling straight down, you might want it to fall in a certain direction. And there's a lot of science involved here, but fundamentally, you just want to weaken the side of the structure you want it to fall towards, as you can see here. And then not only will it fall in the right direction, but it might also look really cool in the process. But this isn't always as straightforward as it seems. Like in this case, even though the structure clearly had been weakened on the correct side, the silo still falls backwards right on the excavator that was in the process of weakening the base. For our building, the plan was to start by pre-weakening some of the key structural walls by cutting big holes in them, and then use an 8-foot drill bit to bore a bunch of holes you could place 2,000 sticks of dynamite into on the critical 2 lower floors. But you also place an additional 1,500 sticks of dynamite throughout the rest of the structure to ensure it doesn't all stick together and just roll over like this. Then at the moment of detonation, the dynamite's triggered with a milliseconds delay starting from the bottom up and from the sides inwards. And this means it only costs you 3,500 sticks of dynamite to unlock access to the equivalent of 20,000 sticks of dynamite stored as gravitational potential energy. So the building crushes itself into a relatively small rubble pile that's much cheaper and easier to clean up afterwards. Now that we know what it takes to bring down a building of this size, Bam and I are going to face off in the world's first Demolympics to see who gets the honor of bringing the building down. Starting with event 1, the hatchet throw. And unfortunately for Bam, turns out I'm really good at throwing hatchets.